let's get to the paper review now and see what the headlines are saying across Nigeria. And I have two gentlemen, a lawyer, public affairs analyst, Okenan Nebedum, in the studio, as well as another public affairs analyst, Ambrose Ibuke. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Mike.
Nice to see you. All right, let's begin right away with the Daily Trust. As our first paper this morning, rerun polls hold in Kano, Benue, 4 others, March 23rd. INEC takes decision on Rivers election today. Okay, from the Daily Trust, let's move to the Vanguard. The Vanguard says March 23rd, date for makeup polls in Adamawa, Kano, others, and has some multiple riders there that says anxiety heightens as INEC holds back on Rivers. Obi expresses concern over Rivers stalemate, and PDP flares BMO over president's neutrality claim. From the Vanguard, let's go to business news. Business news this morning is saying worries as federal government further delays micro-pension implementation. Okay, from the business news, let's go to New Telegraph. New Telegraph is saying that 609,197 voters to decide Otom, Ganduje, Tambuwal, others' fate, and has some multiple riders there that says INEC fixes supplementary elections for March 23rd and justifies action. And the commission is silent on Rivers, a set-up team to resolve Bauchi deadlock, and Buhari meets APC governors, and women storm Sokoto INEC office. Okay, from New Telegraph, let's move to the last one now, The Guardian. That's our last paper this morning. INEC fixes March 23 for extra polls in 6 states. The Emir urges calm over Kano inconclusive election, and Third Force plans anti-commission's protest, and wife Interior should be declared winner by Haruna. And Ihedioha Ishaku win Imo Taraba governorship seats. All right, those are some of the headlines across papers this morning. And but gentlemen, one issue that will be of interest this morning is the wave of reaction from countries following the Ethiopian Airlines, which I'd like us to see. It's on page 17 of the Daily Trust, which says Ethiopian Airlines crash sparks global safety concerns on 737 MAX planes. We are seeing reactions from different countries: Germany, France, South Africa, China, Ethiopia, and all of that. They've started Indonesia. They started suspending and shutting down their operation of Boeing, all the airlines using Boeing 737 following the crash recently.
MAX.
Yes, the MAX 8 series. But we see that in Nigeria, one of the very prominent airline has ordered for 10 of those MAX 8. What concerns do you have, Ambrose? Let me start with you.
Well, for now, Nigerians should not have worries. They should not have concerns.
Why not?
Because the airline, unless it's a foreign airline, no domestic airline has that particular model of aircraft. One of the prominent airlines said they have ordered for it. It has not been delivered. I think it should be delivered 2020 or 2021. So if it has not been delivered, that means with this wave of suspensions around the world, they will be forced to correct the abnormality. I think they have been able to identify it. There's a new technology that was embedded in it that takes control of the pilot to the computer system and the switching system. So if that, many pilots have not been trained on that, and that is basically the issue. So why will you take control of the pilot for those kind of emergencies? Computers are smart, but they don't have human wisdom.
Well, okay, now, the point there is, if there is a new feature on the plane and it wasn't publicized enough to the level where an experienced pilot is not familiar with a new feature, is that good for business? If that is the case.
I think the airline industry is the most regulated, and the pilots update their certification as regular, as often as technology gets updated. And especially this one has to do with technology that communicates between the pilot on board and the control room. I think that safety measures to that extent ought to have been communicated and then inculcated among pilots themselves who man these aircrafts. And for countries who are, strong stakeholders in the aviation sector, making a ban, I don't think it's permanent for now. It's a temporary reaction. So the major airline that has ordered it, they should just watch as events unfold. It causes no cause for alarm or panic amongst Nigerians. After all, for us here,
but when the big players are suspending, are you sure that
they have the airline? They have that particular model of aircraft.
Yeah, but Nigerians fly over. In fact, on the ill-fated aircraft, 2 Nigerians were there, which means across the world, certainly you find Nigerians everywhere.
I think the Nigerians, the greatest worry Nigerians should have is not on the domestic route.
Okay.
It's actually flying to the U.S.
Right.
Because U.S. have refused to suspend that operation to force Boeing to effect that correction, because they're looking at the business side and not human value, because Boeing is an American company. All
right, let's move on to another story I'd like us to look at quickly. Vanguard on page 9 talks about, it says, excuse me, Onogen fails to appear for trial, says he has toothache and high blood pressure. This takes us back to some of the drama we have seen in recent times with the high-profile cases and all of that. But what do you make? Okay, now let me ask you. What do you make? This is your your number 1 jurisdiction. Let me ask you.
It has to be diplomatic.
Put it as it is.
No matter how diplomatic I would want to be, the facts are very clear. Trials are for living persons. If the CJN drops dead, God forbid, at this point, it's an action in personam. So the whole allegations dies with him. So it is good and better that the doctor's report, which the defense counsel also, agreed to and acquiesced to the court's adjournment. I think it's better that we allow him take some rest, 72 hours, and then get himself, in a better health condition to face the trials.
But I wonder, Ambrose, the point there is, it has been said that, people who understand the system sometimes come up with issues, come up with reasons to twist the system, delay tactic here and there, and all of that. If you look at it with the third eye, what are you seeing here?
Well, the lawyer has spoken. I was speaking for the position of the masses.
No, who would you feel sick?
I was speaking for the position of the masses, which is, for God's sake, toothache. I mean, I was not wondering if it's the ordinary man who was awaiting trial.
You singled out toothache.
Can he give...
And blood pressure.
Okay, can he give that excuse? It will be bundled with Black Maria to the court.
Issue.
So the issue is that, as you said, the elites, especially lawyers themselves, found a way of circumventing the system. They know the tricks, they know the books, so they know the loopholes, they know the lacuna, according to them, let me use their language, in law, and so they can easily exploit that. But we have seen the drama over the years, people going to court on stretchers, people using plaster of Paris to around themselves and the rest. The drama continues, and they will get all the adjournments and the gate. Anyway, it is even for the benefit of the federal government who suspended him, because the more the delay, the more they will keep doing it until the tribunal sits and the rest. So the earlier we expedite with this case, the better for all of us.
Okay, now.
This anomaly wouldn't fly totally, because I think people don't understand how the judiciary works. And they are bound to have various opinions. I still maintain my position that trials are for living persons.
They're for living persons. But just like Ambrose said, the point there is, it seems there are standards for different people in the society when it comes to reasons for some of these things.
Basically because when high-profile persons are on trial like this, it comes to the glare of the press. That is just a difference. Because oftentimes, many people die awaiting trials, and many people die in prison because of the conditions there. I have a client personally who has been under detention and has very serious
Anyway, we wait to see how the drama will play out. Okay, Nandibedu, thank you very much.
You should take painkillers.
Thank you very much for your coming. All right, you're watching TVC Breakfast, and we're streaming live on YouTube. You can connect with us on Twitter using the hashtag TVC Breakfast.